I had a situation happen to me today, which is why I didn't post for a little bit, because it was very disappointing. I am honest. And although I may not go into detail with my personal, family, in-depth personal life with you all, because I love to remain as private as possible when it comes to just the intimate details of my life. But I am honest. So I'm honest with you guys because I want you guys to also see that we all make mistakes, right? I made a mistake, y'all. A really bad one. That I know it's going to take me a couple weeks or a couple months to get over. Let's just say that God opened my eyes about something that he wanted me to be a part of, or something that was for me. And I allowed my emotions and a couple negative thoughts, and I allowed bullies to run me out of an opportunity. And I know a lot of you guys will say, oh, well, if you ran out or if it didn't work out, it wasn't for you. No, there are certain things in life that are for us. And if you don't arrest your emotions, you will ruin those things. Let's not live in a delusion. This is real life. You absolutely can destroy a blessing. That we've seen that's all throughout the Bible. There's so many stories throughout the Bible where somebody ruined something. Like when God told, I forgot his name. People are going to say, oh, well, that's not true. You can't ruin your blessing. And if you're emotional, that doesn't mean that's going to get in the way of God. I'm going to need you guys to develop consequential thinking. There will be consequences for your actions, whether you are a believer or not. I don't come on here and preach that delusional nonsense. I come in here and I preach the truth to you all to wake you all up, male or female. Just like with Moses, when God told him, what did God tell Moses? For you all who are Christians or not, I'll summarize the story. God instructed Moses to, not hit a rock with his staff. He still did. And the consequences were that he was punished along with Aaron for not trusting God. So they did not get to see the promised land as that consequence. So there are, when we let that's why I keep telling you guys, you got to arrest your emotions, because your emotions will put you in certain situations that you should not be in and will allow you to miss certain opportunities that were for you. You will miss the opportunity. If your emotions, you see me, my emotions in the past has ruined so many parts of my life that after this certain situation happened, I've become a stoic. I don't want to have my emotions regulating anything moving forward, because your emotions will lie to you. They will make you, your emotions will make you make decisions that are negative, decisions that are not right, decisions that are not rational. My emotions in my life has been my worst enemy. And after this recent situation, I woke up the next day. That's how I knew I made the wrong choice. When I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my God, I ruined it. Like this was not the plan. Like God gave me specific instructions that I did not follow because I let anger get in the way, impatient, and I threw out something that God had for me. And I have to deal with the consequences now. I'm not going to get it back. I now have to deal with the consequences of me being I can't. There is no do-over. I already lost it. And that's something that us as human beings, we have to come to terms with, that there are certain opportunities that you lose. You'll never get them back, ever in life. You will never get the opportunity back once it's lost. And when I rolled over the next morning and I realized that my emotions, and because I didn't think rationally, it caused me to act out, I got in the way of something that God had for me. Which is why I posted that post and I said, are you guys standing in your own way? Because sometimes it's really you. Your intrusive thoughts, insecurity, anger, rage, paranoia, anxiety, that's what gets in the way. Unarrested emotions become unmanageable. A lot of you guys, your emotions are so out of whack because you're so overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed with life. It's too much going on, especially for women. It's too much going on. Women have so much suppressed pressure. Why? Because women are the rock of the home. You got your children, you got your kids, pick them up, drop them off, bills here, bills there. This man's acting out. You're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. Okay? Okay? You're overwhelmed. And when you are overwhelmed, your emotions are like on 15 Red Bulls. And they become unmanageable. You cannot think rationally if your emotions are not balanced and arrested. You'll never be able to think rationally. You'll never be able to think like, okay, that's not making sense. I'm not going to do that. You'll never be able to think rationally if your emotions are in charge. Put them in the back seat. And you put them out when needed. Because constantly letting emotions drive you will ruin your life. Emotional regulation is required for peace. Because sometimes your emotions will lie to you. And conduct, like emotions, I've seen relationships get damaged, friendships get damaged, families get damaged because of that emotion that you're feeling. You didn't arrest it. So you ended up doing an action that was negative that you cannot fix because you allow your emotions to be your puppet master that day. Emotional regulation is required for peaceful relationships amongst other people. I've seen a lot of women get fired because they felt that little emotion of jealousy. And they decided, I'm going to harass this girl that I work with, that I'm jealous of. I'm going to harass her just to end up getting fired. And now you can't pay your bills because you let the emotion of jealousy trigger you to harass a woman who built a case on you and won. Now you're out of a job and you can't pay your bills. And you're laying in your bed looking at the ceiling, asking yourself, I can't pay my bills because I allowed this feeling to cause me to act out of character. That's how dangerous emotions are. When they're not controlled, balanced, and arrested. You got men. You were with a woman, wonderful relationship, wonderful marriage. You see another chick. You start feeling that lust feeling, another dangerous emotion, lust. When you start feeling that lust feelings, you go, you mess with her, you bend her over a couple times. And you realize, you know what? I slept with her, I conquered her, but she's not as good as my wife. Like, my wife is my rock. And then your wife finds out and she wants a divorce. And now you're like, no, like that was a one-time thing. Like I experienced her, like she cannot amount to you. She's not you. You're my person. And it's too late, sir. You let the emotion take over that caused you to go and sleep with another woman and cheat on your wife. And you realize that other woman wasn't even all that. She cannot sustain you the way your wife does. But your wife finds out and she doesn't want you no more. Now you've ruined an entire family union off of one emotion. You can't get anywhere being emotional. You can't get anywhere being emotional. And we have all fell into traps of emotion. We all have, including myself the other day. Will I always have regrets? Yeah, about that situation, yeah. Will I get over it? It's not will I get over it. I have to get over it. It's not will I get over it. I have to get over it. That's life. You make a mistake, you learn from it. You don't do it again and you get over it. I have to get over it. But is it painful that I allowed myself to not think rationally? Absolutely. You can't get anywhere being emotional. You have to put your emotions on the back burner and allow God to come in and help you think with a sound mind and a sound heart to make the proper decisions. Arresting your emotions allow you to be balanced. Oh, I just wanted to talk to her. I just wanted to talk to her. Boom, broke out in a fight. Oh, I didn't know it was going to get that far. Yes, you did. Because you know that you cannot control those emotions that you got. Now you got a battery charge on your record. Your emotions they will lie to you. Until you go over there, just have a conversation with her about that guy that you guys have in common. Nothing's going to happen. Just go talk to her. And before you know it, cops are called. You guys are in a big brawl. Hairs all over the place, boobs all over. You didn't think that was going to happen because you have to understand that as an individual, when you arrest your emotions and you balance and control your emotions, that doesn't mean that other people have that skill or have conquered that yet. And when you realize that, you'll avoid confrontation. Arresting your emotion allows you to be balanced. I was having a conversation the other day with the situation with that crazy tenant that I was telling you guys about. And I was on the call with someone and they kept saying all the things that were all the problems in the situation. And I said, okay, thank you for telling me all of the problems, but what are the solutions though? Because at this point in my life, I cannot be emotional and keep talking about the problem and getting angry and frustrated with the problem. What do we do moving forward? What's the solution moving forward? Because that's all that's going to help at this point. And a lot of you ladies and gentlemen, you have to get tired of being emotional. But I love him. Baby, he's abusive. The way that you're feeling is not the point. The only time we go based off what we're feeling internally is when we're talking about intuition and discernment and God is speaking to our spirit. Other than that, your emotions can be lying to you. You feel that emotion of love, but baby, abuse is not love. You're trying to convince yourself that your emotions are lying to you and telling you you love him. Would you want your daughter to love a man who is abusive? I don't think so. So why are you doing it? When your emotions are not balanced, when you don't arrest your emotions, when you submit to your emotions, do you know that that's how people end up in jail? You know how many people are behind bars because they couldn't control their emotion? Do you know how many people are abusers? Like they're the one doing the abuse. They're the one being abusive because they cannot control their emotions. Do you know that you're not being able to control your emotions, not arresting your emotions, not balancing your emotions? Do you know that can cause lack of progress because you have no discipline? Your emotion tells you, I'm feeling sad, I'm going to lay down today. But your mind is telling you you're sad, but guess what? You being sad is not going to change the trajectory of the situation, so you might as well get up and get something done. Your emotions tells you, I'm going to go over there and give her a piece of my mind. But logic is going to tell you, but you need this job though. You got 5 cents in your bank account. And I'm not talking to you guys. I'm not talking down to you guys. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm not talking at you guys because I'm still struggling with this. I'm in no way talking like I'm above this concept because I'm still fighting it till this day. I told you guys about what happened to me 2 days ago. I'm still learning how to discipline myself and get up and say, you know what, I'm feeling really sad today, but I still got to go on this run. I still got to go to that appointment. I still got to upload this video onto YouTube. I have no choice. I get out of my emotions and I develop stoicism. You know, we got so many emotions in our life as human beings that we feel. We feel love. And a lot of people, when they think about love, they think, oh, wow, it's just this beautiful emotion. Love can cause you to not see the truth in another person. You heard me, honey. Love can cause you to not see the truth in another person. When you love them, you over-love them, you can't see who they are. That's where you got to get that love out the way and say, I love this person, but they're hurting me to my soul. I can't listen to this emotion anymore. Now I have to think with logic so this person doesn't do something wild to me because I have to be here for my family. You arrest that emotion. Love. You don't see the truth when you're loving too hard because love is so pure. It keeps you from seeing the reality of the damage that person is doing to you. So you have to not allow yourself to be a slave to your emotions. Anger. I know a lot of people in prison from anger. They're angry, honey. And they decided to cut someone up, punch someone in the face, jump on someone. Look at Yolanda Salvador, anger. Anger mixed with jealousy. Let's talk about lust. Lust makes you make bad decisions. When you start to feel that feeling of lust and you forget you got a wife at home, you forget you got a husband at home, you forget about your kids and how much they need their daddy or how much they need their mother. And you make a decision to go and sleep with that man or sleep with that woman, and your spouse finds out about it. And now you're in the middle of a divorce you can't get out of. All because you decided to let an emotion control you. Oh my God, why am I feeling emotional? I don't want to cry while I'm saying this, but I watched this scene when I was scrolling down. I watched a scene from the show Scandal, and when I was watching it in my car, because I was parked in the parking lot waiting on someone, when I watched the scene, I started crying because it really hit home for me. And the reason why I love the show Scandal is, even though it is a fiction, that is the experience of many Black women. And that really makes me emotional because that is a representation of what the prototype Black woman has to go through all the time. And I watched this scene of Olivia and her father. And the reason why that scene really pierced me is because it reminds me of me and my father. And her father was very hard on her in this scene, and he was yelling at her and he was screaming at her, and he was telling her, how could you let how you feel about this man get in the way of the truth about life? You're sleeping with this man. You're Black, he's white, which is not necessarily a problem, but they're going to always protect him before they protect you. If anything goes down. And yeah, that's a show, but in real life, that's how it works in society. And he was yelling at her, and he told her, why would it be your goal to amount to be that, to be a mistress, when I've placed so much in you and you've pushed yourself so hard? Why that? Why would you amount to play the mistress role? instead of something farther. And he told her, what did I tell you? And she said twice. And then he screamed to the top of his lungs. He said, what did I tell you? She said, I have to work twice as hard. He said, exactly. You have to work twice as hard to have half of what they have. And in that moment, that scene kind of signified how she let her emotions get in the way of the bigger picture. And how many times do us as men and women allow emotions to get in the way of the bigger picture of our life's desire? Oh, I didn't really want him, but I kind of, he was sweet. He made me feel a little bit good about myself. So I went ahead and no, what's the bigger picture though? If he or she doesn't fit the picture, then you made a mistake and you'll never be happy. So love, anger, lust, jealousy. Jealousy destroys connections. That's an emotion that a lot of women face. There are a lot of women that should look at me as their ally, but instead they look at me as an enemy, and they're destroying a connection there, and they don't even realize that, because they let that jealousy take over them. Jealousy destroys relationships. There are relationships between mothers and daughters destroyed. Sister and sister destroyed. Husband and wife destroyed because of jealousy. Jealousy destroys relationships. I have family members that even if someone leaves the land of the living, they are not allowed to call me because of their jealousy and how they ruined the relationship. There's no relationship in my family that I ruined. They ruined it because they let that emotion keep them from a quality person. They could never call me. I tell them, I don't care who goes to heaven. Don't call me. Don't call me. Jealousy destroys connections. I've met girls who meet another girl. She's wonderful. And all of a sudden that jealousy demon starts creeping in. And you sit here and you try to drag this girl. Literally, you want to drag her by her hair. And she did nothing to you. But you let that jealousy come in and overwhelm you, and you destroyed a connection without cause. Jealousy is an emotion that destroys connections. Rage causes you to be irrational. Arrest your emotions to progress. I'm telling you. Your emotions are not your friend. You feel them, and you let your emotions flow through you, whether it's anger, sadness, rage, lust. You're going to feel it. I'm not going to say you're not going to feel it, but you're not going to act on it, though. You won't act on it. You're going to feel it and let it flow, but you're still going to think with logic at the end, because you don't want to feel like how I felt 2 days ago, full of regret. Because I let my emotions take over the bigger picture of what I really wanted in that situation. Okay, if you guys have not signed up for the Spiritual Warfare Masterclass, the link is below, as well as my other recordings and my website. I love you guys, and please, you guys, seriously, like in this week, don't let your emotions take over you. I know it's hard. I know it's difficult. I know. But we can't allow ourselves to have our emotions driving us around while we're in the back seat on a high chair. That's just not going to work.